one. It was a trouncing from Team 1. 16-6 was the score. And in fact, I believe at half the score was 13 or 12-3, if I'm not mistaken, in favor of Team 1. Absolutely domineering performance on their opponent's map pick, no less. And now we go into their own. Their stomping grounds. Nuke is the map. Team 1 starting on the T side. Of course, Phanton Troupe electing to start on the CT. Let's look at these investments. Don't have Freshie on the dualies. Normally we do. He didn't invest anything whatsoever. It's a flash for JT, a smoke kit for Nisei, and dualies for Cryptic. Instead, it's a different setup. And this time around, Cryptic will have no success towards the ramp. Neither will JT towards heaven. Freshie will eventually drop Malls, but TRK quickly trades the kill on to Nisei. 2 versus 3. Freshie chimes in for a second as the B site falls. And what can these two remaining defenders do in the retake? That's the question. They don't have the kit on them. They have a long way to go and a lot to do to get that defuse in time. Florence does have Kevlar at least to take the duels, but Maluka up close underneath is just absolutely clinical with the shot. Maluka dropping Florence. That leaves just Freshie. He has all the kills thus far for his squad. He's found one. He needs more. Or two, I should say, and he needs more. He found a third, but Pesa quickly trades out his teammate. Team 1 on the board rather swiftly here. 1-0. Team 1. What is the investment going to be? And Phantom Troupe, more importantly, will they go for the fourth round? It looks like they will. Freshie had a lot of extra money left in the bank. Keep in mind, he did not buy at all in the round prior, and he found 3 kills. That means he can go for a bit of a hero buy. Kevlar and the M4 are on the docket for him. 2 scouts between Florence and Cryptic, and a Deagle with a 5-7 for JT and Nisei. Team 1, far more comprehensive buy as you would expect. 4 rifles, 3 of them being Galils, and 1 MAC-10. All in a much better buy, but don't discount these scouts, especially not out towards the yard. Cryptic trading blows with IDK. Still an even 5 versus 5. Looks like Team 1 are again to go towards the ramp. No one's here this time around. In fact, Phantom Troupe totally discounted it. Florence went to go check, get the information, but Team 1 are already out. He just swings to his early death. It's the MAC-10 of Maluka to find the opening. And that is now the B site cracked wide open. JT towards the double doors, and Freshie here to support, but what can they really do? It's 1 for Mobs. Make that a second. He takes on Freshie as well. IDK catches the flanking Nisei, and it's just Cryptic. He was out in the yard. He got that early tag and out the bag, and he won't find any success towards the ramp either. Pesadillo shuts him down, and Team 1, a dominant second round. They shut down the 4 spy. They should be guaranteed a third now as well by extension. Phantom Troupe aren't going to invest much at all. 1 Zeus for Freshie, 3 nades, and a flash nade for JT, nade for Cryptic and Nisei, and 2 P250s as well for Cryptic and Nisei. So I guess a little bit invested, a little bit of a hope for maybe a kill or 2, but I didn't find anything in the round prior with those weapons, those scouts, etc. So I wouldn't expect anything now. Flash is over. It's going to be a no respect play from Team 1 over towards A. No one's in the site proper to deal with this. They're all towards the mini instead, and they will run forward, hoping to see the day with their numbers. But no, they get shut down very quickly. Well, Luca's the only one that takes any sort of damage as well for Team 1. And it's another very similar situation, very similar start to map number 1. If you recall, it was a 4-0 start for Team 1 with next to no damage being taken. That's a very similar story here and now. In fact, it might even be more domineering. Malbs drops JT. Just Freshie on that Zeus I mentioned before, 1v5. He's in towards trophy room, hoping that someone goes for the hunt. No one is, though. Actually, I see that IDK is. IDK is going to walk into it. Zeus does not reach that far. Freshie, he's caught out by IDK, and that is 3 near flawless rounds here. They lost some players in the pistol, sure. They lost 3, Malbs, Maluka, and TRK. But when they had the rifles in hand, when it actually mattered for Phantom Troupe to do the damage, to get the impact, they found none. Second round and now third round, both won cleanly and flawlessly. It's now full rifles and a healthy economy for Team 1. You can tell 6K, 5K, 5.6. Everybody has a lot of money in the bank, a lot of economic flexibility as required on this T side. Phantom Troupe looking to at long last put around on the board. They do have rifles across the board. 4 M4s to the op, some utility. No kit. But they do at least have some rifles that can go head-to-head against these AKs. Nisei finds one. His teammate spotted. He needs to help him. Nisei a second. TRK finds a double in response, but Cryptic is the one to break the trading curse. He finds an advantage. I say that, but IDK swings out after a bit of delay and finds a kill in response. Again, back to even footing. 2 versus 2. It's a glass cannon op for Florence and M4 for JT versus the M4 of Maluka and the Galil of IDK, and now it's just the op. Maluka down below by the vents, taps away one, tags the second as well. The aim punch throws Florence's crosshair off kilter, and so that will send Florence flaying. He will hold for the exit. He'll get spotted, but he'll win that duel this round. The aim punch will not do him in. However, the round is already quits. It's going to be a fourth for Team 1. It was an expensive one, sure. They lost a lot of players, but it doesn't matter, as I mentioned before. They have so much money in the bank that any loss is inconsequential. They can easily absorb those losses. In fact, Maluka might even be so inclined to go for the op. He'll have no problem buying that. And so Team 1, more than happy with this sprint. Again, keep in mind, this is a rather CT-sided map. Phantom Troupe wanted to start here on this side. So the fact that Team 1 are already off to a 4-0 sprint on their T side does not bode well for the rest of this game. Phantom Troupe are going to rally behind that op. They're going to invest as best they can. 2 MP9s, 2 M4s. Cryptic was a monster towards the yard in the night prior. Can he find success now? That's the question. He's going to be given an opportunity. No, Mob is going to clear it. Perfectly done from him. He knows exactly when he's walking into that angle. Very well done from him. Florence, on a bit of sheer luck, though, finds one nearly a second through the smoke. It's a trade by sheer coincidence coming in from Phantom Troupe. They're going to need all the luck they can get, I'd say. Freshie caught in transition towards the B site. That means Team 1 again emerge with the advantage. 4 versus 3. Bomb already getting planted. And Pace is going to catch Nisei on the rotation here. Yep, there it is. A nice spray down from him. Nisei not checking the angle deeply enough. I think that's where you call the round once again. Florence on the op. It's a too fickle a weapon to use when you're getting aggressive. JT on the MP9. It's kind of a difficult pill to swallow when you have to save the SMG, but that's just what you have to do. 5-0 for Team 1. Domineering performance on map 1 as well as now map 2. Pesa drops Florence. That's the op. Dispatch. No opportunity for recovery either for JT. He's going to try to get an exit or two. Towards ramp. He will get one, sure, but again, this damage, this economic damage that he's doing is inconsequential. It doesn't matter. Team 1 have so much money in the bank they can easily reinvest. And all that JT gets to bring in the next round is an MP9. Not even a rifle for his team to work with. Half buy for Phantom Troupe coming through. Team 1 well poised to find a 6th and continue their tear. And I was expecting a little bit more from Phantom Troupe, I'll be honest. These maps are different than the last evening. Maybe it's simply the maps being played, but they kind of did show some glimmers of hope, some signs that they were a solid, comprehensive squad that were ready to battle against the Brazilian aggression, etc. Especially against Made in Brazil, a team that's higher rated than Team 1. But Team 1 are giving this squad an absolute trouncing, and Phantom Troupe are at a loss. They're just kind of stuck trying to go for the same plays and getting caught out nonetheless. Three Eagles, a 5-7, and an MP9 is all that Phantom Troupe have to work with. Playing rather passively as well. DRK, not one to be passive though. He's going to jump over to AC. He'll find JT, that one player with the MP9. IDK will drop Cryptic as well. The deal of Freshie will at long last ring true, and Florence getting aggressive will find one. Finally, some resistance being offered. Maluka, though, outside in towards the factory, finds one, spots the second. That's a good shot from Pesa through the wall. He drops Freshie. Just leaves Nisei once again. 5-7 in hand. He does have Kevlar and a helmet to work with. But a lot to do. And in fact, I would not even fancy his chances at getting more than one. He might find Pesa, or actually he might find a headshot on the one and finish Pesa off because Pesa is so low. That is an opportunity, I suppose. But I don't think it's going to happen. He does get one. There we go. A second, surely not meant to be, though, especially not on 14 HP. Hoping the caster's curse comes through, I'll be honest, but don't think it will. Nisei does get an M4. That's something to save, something to bring into the next round, something to scavenge for the squad. Maluka's watching for the exit, though. Maluka wants this kill. don't think they're going to hunt it. They're going to hunt this player down. At least not aggressively enough. Nisei should be able to keep the gun for the following. See that? They do really pick up the pace, though. Nope, they stop. Right in their tracks as I say that. Six to nothing. 6-0. Phanton Troupe. This is the best buy they've had all game. I will say that. Best opportunity thus far. Up for Florence along with Utility, along with Kevlar, along with the helmet. M4s to support. There's a kit as well on Cryptic. Everything they could need. The question is, do they have the strategy in mind? Team 1, finally some aggression coming through, or some more flagrant aggression, I should say, some more blatant aggression, and it's not expected. Cryptic, again, caught in rotation, falsely believing he would be safe. He was watching the angle, sure, but he was not ready for the peak to come through as quickly as it did. Maluka finding the opening with the big green out towards red in the yard, and another advantage going the way of Team 1. Phanton Troupe need to tighten things up, need to be more aware, more ready for this aggression. It has been happening throughout the series now. You have to know when Team 1 have a lead like this, they're more prone to going for these aggressive and risque plays. Molotov's in towards A now. Nisei is going to smoke. Hold his own. Has support here as well, but Team 1 are going towards ramp. They're not going towards A. Freshie evens the score, finding one. And throws the Molotov to stymie the aggression, but Malbs, as I say that, finds a trade. Freshie looking to be the hero his team needs. He has been the heavy hitter for the squad in the past, and he's trying to be that once again. 3 kills towards the ramp as he's trying to realize his true and final form. Bomb dropped as well, and advantage truly secured. 3 versus 2. Maluka and IDK. Both with AKs now. The op being dropped. IDK. He's looking to get A site control here. And the vents will move up to support Nisei. Maluka will get the trade, but Freshie is an unknown entity here, an unknown quantity. Maluka's going to go for the plant, but here comes the press. Freshie and Florence have him both boxed in. Maluka peeking in on 14 HP, finds the first, wants to take the duel as well, but Freshie reads the situation perfectly, finds a way out, and finds the round by extension. A true hero for the squad in this one. Very well done from him. That's 3 kills secured for him, and the 1v1 clutch by technicality by time. 1-6. The first round is always the hardest. The question is, can Phantom Troupe find a second? They did not find 2 rounds in a row at all in their first half on Mirage. And finding more than 1 round in a row is a necessity in this game. It builds up confidence, it builds up repeatability, and it builds up that economy that you require. Nice peek from Florence to bait out the shot. It's not punished. So it's just been bullets exchanged and chip damage done. Bomb dropped down the yard, excuse me. Florence is posted on an interesting angle. He spots the player crossing. Doesn't hit the shot on the first cross, but does catch him getting aggressive. There we go. Punishing it. Maluka going out on his own. He is supported by the utility, sure, but when he's truly alone and not tradable, that's when Phantom Troupe strike. They find one. They find a second. Freshie towards the ramp. Indomitable. Insurmountable here, as he will always find at least one. Malbs towards A will find one. Pesa a second. Somehow, Team 1 to find a way back into it. This time towards the opposite site. JT dropping down. Will look to be the last line of defense, though. Peeking and he'll find one. The other 2 drop. And I think Phantom Troupe should have the read here. 3 versus 2. A slim advantage for the CT side as they begin their rotation. Op in the hands of Florence. Should have a decent chance here towards the ramp, the long angles. It is Freshie to take point here. Peeking in, he'll take the player close. He'll just smash to Malbs. Good shot from him, and that's now a 3 versus 1 for TRK. He's on the back of side. He's going to puppy guard this bomb. He'll find the first, and he'll get away as well. He'll get a chance to reset. This nade could do some more damage and make this more feasible as well. It's 2 M4s as Freshie tries to run him down. Dancing back and forth. Freshie will win the duel, but I was going to say there's no time because it looks like they stutter step, but no, there is plenty of time. Both players have kits. Op is recovered. And 2 rounds in a row have been secured. What they could not do in the entirety of the first half on Mirage, they have at long last done on Nuke. It was a beleaguered start with a 0-6 scoreline, but they have recovered at least a little bit. And with these 2 rounds, they are beginning to chip away at the economic dominance Team 1 have built. As you can tell, they do still have full AKs, they do still have full utility, but those coffers are getting a little bit lower now. We're not seeing those 5, 10K numbers we saw in the early goings of this game. They have landed on rough times, and if they don't find some success sooner or later, they might be reset. Nisei finding 1, JT a second. Mobs will clap back, but still is an advantage for Phantom Troupe. Team 1 are going to continue now over towards A. At least it seems like they will. In fact, IDK is just going down the vents. Team 1, they're very quick with it. This is what I want to see, the dynamics. They're able to move on the fly. You can tell they were going to go for a fast A play. They didn't stutter step whatsoever. They let their players fall. They let them run their course, and they quickly transition without hesitation towards a B play. It is shut down here in this instance. Florence towards the ramp, finding 2. But just the complete swap immediately, without hesitation, without worrying about rotating around, is what really makes this team succeed. And I want to see more of that. That's the sign of a very well-practiced, well-oiled machine, and I would expect nothing less from a team ranked number 46 currently in the world. If Phantom Troupe can learn anything from this game, it's that. The way to make these on-the-fly and seamless calls, it doesn't even look like they're making a transition or a change in the game plan. It looks like that was the game plan all along. And that's what a team like Phantom Troupe could really begin to learn from these squads. If they can find that kind of dynamics situation or that kind of dynamic play style, they will evolve their gameplay tremendously. Up for Florence. 4 rifles around them in Team 1. Times are getting tough. As I mentioned before, it's now 3 rounds and over Phantom Troupe, and this economy for Team 1 is now a shadow of its former self. They have 5 rifles again. Sure, they're lacking a bit of utility, and they have a Galil on mobs. They're making compromises when just a few rounds ago, that wouldn't have even seemed like a possibility. If Phantom Troupe can truly come into their own here, win 6, 7, 8 rounds ideally, given the rough start, they do have a solid chance back into this map. Slow round. Cryptic is the one to find the opening, though. IDK outside is taken down. Now bullets will be exchanged in towards A. Team 1, what is the play going to be? They have all 4 players towards the lobby. All 4 players leaning towards A. But they aren't committing as of yet. They're just showing presence and maybe transitioning, as you can tell. They're beginning to walk around, beginning to probe over towards B in hopes of someone getting aggressive. The issue is no one is. Freshy's just holding an off angle. He has Florence to support as well. And so this should be a solid hold, an astute hold from this duo. Freshy finds the first. Except recovers the bomb. But won't get the kill. 5 versus 3 is Team 1 almost feel funneled in towards this A site. Cryptic up close towards the vents, though. Totally unexpected. He finds 1, finds a second as well. Pace has no choice but to face check that. And now Maluka in clutch. He'll find 1, but Nisei is more than ready. Even when caught in transition, he'll win that duel. And Phantom Troupe are finally beginning to wake up. This is what I want to see from the squad, ladies and gentlemen. We saw none of this on map 1. We saw a little bit, a glimpse of it in that second half, but by then it was already too late. Here in first half, sure, it's still late, but better late than too late. They have a possibility to get back into it now. 4 rounds in a row. And this is when things can begin to get interesting. Team 1. Did not get a bomb plant. Even with the loss bonus, they can't justify the investment. It's going to be a half buy. Tech 9s and Deagles. A little bit of utility, a little bit of Kevlar, and a dream for this T side. Phantom Troupe looking to become the dominant factor in this map. Cryptic outside in the yard, not going to get over aggressive. He knows the economic state this team is in. Here come the pistols, though. At close range, they are fearsome foes. JT, though, holding things down. 3, not the 4th, but he's done his job. Pesa with a Tech 9, presses forward, finds 1. Maluka a second sure, but Cryptic reins things back in. Somehow it's a 1v1, excuse me. This is doable. Somehow Maluka wins it. Where did that player towards the vents fall? I didn't realize Freshy had fallen. Very well done from Team 1. I'm blindsided by that outcome. I thought for sure Phantom Troupe would have the rotations coming through, but rotating up the vents versus pistols, that's a foolhardy, questionable play at best. And an outright throw at worst. No way you should be going up the vents versus those pistols unless you have a very good read on their positionings. Phantom Troupe punting that round away, and Team 1 winning an eco round. That's not what I expected to see. That surely shakes the confidence of this CT side. Phantom Troupe Nevertheless, appearing undaunted, they are going to go for the investment. 3 M4s and an op rounded out with the Deagle. Cryptic, lucky to find one with that one-way. He'll be quickly traded. JT, there we go. Some aggression from the CT side. I was worried, they might be a little bit worried, a little bit scared, a little bit tepid after that loss. A little bit shaken, perhaps. But no, it's clear they're stirred, not shaken. They go for the complete aggressive play, a completely unseen play from this squad thus far in this map. 4 versus 3. Always Maluka and IDK all down below in the back halls, looking to come out towards B. Freshie, though, he's the ramp player, he's the B player, and he's up on the scaffolding. He'll find the first. The second, not meant to be. He does lots of damage, though, setting up his team for success. The op of Force nearly caught in rotation. Maluka, lucky to be alive. 3 versus 2. Flash will come in from JT. These players are trying to ping-pong back and forth, trying to take contact, trying to do chip damage, and trying to just overwhelm with their superior numbers. Trading out is the name of the game here for Phantom Troupe. Albs, though, on the back of sight, has secured the first. He's taken down 1/2 of this pincer retake, and that is a massive one to find. Peeking out with a flash, though. That's foolhardy. I like the idea. He knows he's stuck. He knows he's trapped. He has to try for it, but he doesn't secure it. JT finds the final kill, and he does have enough time as well with the kit in hand. Phantom Troupe, they didn't go down to the wire, but they do secure it in the end. The op as well is picked up for Nisei. That will be dropped to Florence. Phantom Troupe do recover. I was very worried with that oversight, with that anti-eco loss, but they quickly clap back, even with a compromised investment. Nisei on that deal, as I mentioned before. Phantom Troupe back into the winners column very quickly, and that might reset Team 1 here. Team 1 will go for the investment. As you can tell, 3 AKs, a Galil, a MAC-10, a little bit of utility sprinkled in for good luck. But if they lose this one, they'll be back to the Stone Age, back to pistols, back to sticks and stones. And they're going to go aggressive. It is kind of what they go for. But Freshie lines up 3 on the FAMAS spray down. That's not a weapon you spray transfer with, young man. He'll still make it sing nonetheless. 3 kills for the price of 1 death. And that leaves just IDK and TRK. Make that just TRK, excuse me. Cryptic dropping IDK towards the control room. TRK on the site now locked in the 1 versus 4. He found the first. He got the trade for his teammate. Can he do more? Second secured. Not quite the third, though. A nice double swing. A crossfire established from JT and Nisei seals his fate. And Phantom Troupe now 2 in a row, resetting that Team 1 economy, as I mentioned before, as I forecasted before. 6-7, Phantom Troupe within touching distance now of that lead. If they sweep these final 2 rounds, they will steal it away. And let me tell you, that would be one heck of a recovery from a 0-6 start here on Nuke. Up for Florence, aka Young Vomit Boy. MP9 for Freshie, a bit of a compromise, but again, we saw what he did with the FAMAS. I could expect something similar with the MP9, I'd say, especially against these pistols. Phantom Troupe, even if it is pistols, again, they can't discount this investment. We saw what happened the last time pistols were brought out. It was a victory for Team 1. The same could not happen here. Team 1 preparing for a bit of a pop here over towards A. Cryptic, though, already getting into position. Florence as well up towards the heavens. The one to chime in at first. Cryptic now finds one back behind the vents. The Tech 9 sowing a bit of chaos, but not finding any real success. Maluka only finding 1 parting gift. Freshie able to upgrade his MP9 instead, and that leaves Pesadillo on the flank, 1 versus 4. He might get a novel 1D on timing. Oh no, the step is heard. Florence is posted on the angle. He's more than ready for it. He finds the kill, and that is a clean round. The cleanest you could ask for Phantom Troupe. They'll have no problem investing into this final round. Team 1 won't either, sure. But this is a remarkable comeback, a remarkable return to form. And in fact, it's such an audacious one, an audacious return given the 06 start that I would say Phantom Troupe do have some skin in the game here on map number 2. We'll have to see if their T side is up to snuff, though. T side is very typically the more difficult of the 2 sides here on Nuke. Cryptic outside in the yard. He has been a menace here, whether it was in the first game of the season or in this one. He has found some good success here on Nuke. Here we go, another unique play up towards Secret. This is a play we see teams do quite often, but they have not done it at all thus far in this map, and they're finally pulling it out. They're finally getting comfortable. They're finally taking the initiative. Phantom Troupe catch out Team 1, the team known for those aggressive plays, and that is a good opening to find now. It goes completely unanswered. Team 1, 4 versus 5. A minute left in the round and not a lot of map control. What do they do? IDK, a lurk out in the yard, does drop the first, does trade it out. 4 versus 4, even footing. And Nisei now stuck behind the vents is in a very difficult spot. He's going to get pre-fired by IDK through the smoke, as he should be. And Pesa finds another. Vomit Boy Florence trying to come up the vents in a desperate play. He is shut down. It looks like Team 1 have it long last. Reasserted their dominance here in the final round of this first half. Freshie 1 versus 4. If there's any player you wanted the clutch, it would be Freshie. But even for him, this might be a tall task. 17 kills for Freshie. Goodness. 141 ADR in this first half for him. I knew he was doing a lot towards the right, especially with that FAMAS 3K. The pestering 3K with the M4 as well. I knew he was doing more than what was necessary from him. But I didn't realize he was doing that much. 18 kills as the round concludes, excuse me. Half concludes as well by extension. Team 1, they do emerge with the advantage, which is what I would have expected in the early goings. But, was the one to really pull the team through it in the game versus Unjustified. And if Freshie can continue to put up these numbers here in the second half, maybe Phantom Troupe have an opportunity to send us to 3. 2 sets of dualies for Team 1 here. Dually Super Soldiers as well. No kit, but there's a flash for mobs. What is the buy for Phantom Troupe? They had a Molotov. They had 2 sets of utility for JT and Nisei, along with 3 sets of Kevlar. Phantom Troupe have gotten a person down the vents, and Team 1 now are going to go for something aggressive. An aggressive play. It fits them perfectly. Cryptic, though. A quick double, and he punishes the aggression. Very nice to find that pair of kills. Drops one of those dually super soldiers and leaves Phantom Troupe with an advantage. Florence now catches the rotation out towards Secret. And this B site take has been wondrous for Phantom Troupe. They're looking to tie it up here. Just TRK and Pesadella both towards the ramp. No kit. Not even a possible pickup either. It hasn't been dropped. No one bought one in this round. TRK and Pesadella, what can they even do here? You can tell they're already saving. Their steps are heard. Phantom Troupe are going to hunt. Not a lot of skin in the game, of course, just Glocks and Kevlar. They might as well go for it. Try to drop these pistols. Try to drop these plays with Kevlar. Bringing the Kevlar into what could be a save round in the second is pretty big for Team 1. So if these players do get dropped, it will be important. But Team 1 do survive. Phantom Troupe aren't quick enough on the hunt. 8-8 though. Tied ball game. Phantom Troupe again looking awoken. Enlightened here on Nuke. Deagle 5.7, MP9, FAMAS, and a Scout for Team 1. They are going for the investment. Had a little bit of extra cash to work with due to that. Again, 2 sets of Kevlar being saved. Phantom Troupe. A lot of rifles across the board for them. 3 Galils, an AK, and a MAC-10. I think on the MAC-10. Holding for the secret press. He's called out, though. That is quite the check from Malbs to find the opening there. I definitely did not expect that to come through. Phantom Troupe now again aggression, this time towards the outside yard. Trying to wrap around towards heaven, but Maluka with the scout is ready. He'll find one before he's done. That maintains the status quo and maintains the advantage for the CT side. Florence finding one, and that really seals the deal. I was going to say Team 1 have a chance still to at least make it costly, but with that double from Freshie, he calls out that aggression. And he cements the round. Florence, the final nail in the coffin, catches that player pressing. He almost fell. If he took any damage there, Florence would have been out of the round. But in the end, it is a rather confident victory for Phantom Troupe. 3 players survive, including that AK. And Team 1 are now on to a save round. They have 2 Deagles on Malbs and IDK. 3 USPs versus Phantom Troupe's full rifles. 3 AKs and 2 Galils for this T side. Freshie grabs the bomb. is the play from Phantom Troupe this time around? We know that Team 1 love to get aggressive. But where do the T side of Phantom Troupe want to get aggressive? They have to do so. Of course, it's the T side. Looks like outside yard will again be favored position. Actually slowly walking up along the wall. He's at 20 kills now, for those of you wondering. Good pre-fire from Cryptic. I missed a spot of the foot of Pesadillo there. That's the opening. Secured. Still 3 Deagles that Phantom Troupe have to worry about, though. Good peek from Freshie. Very aware of the situation. It must have been called out by Nisei there in the back of lobby. Phantom Troupe slowly whittling this away. Again, the key of this round is not to not lose it. That should be a guarantee at this stage. It's just some pistols, nothing more. The goal of a round like this is to keep it clean and flawless. Build up that T economy. That is their main objective, and thus far they have been successful. Cryptic finding the third. No casualties as of yet for Phantom Troupe. Just Maluka and Mobs. Mobs being the key factor here on the Deagle. Where are these two? They're holding frags at this stage. Maluka does have a P250. What's the headshot, though? Peeking in, he will get Florence, maybe? Yes, there we go. He will finish him off. So at least some damage done, but that AK will surely be recovered by somebody on the Phantom Troupe side. Esl Chalenger will drop his Galil. It's still an acceptable loss. You have to really get 3 kills onto the Ts. You have to take down 3 T players to really do any economic damage. And they only found 1. So Phantom Troupe will continue to build this T-side economy, and they will now begin to build their lead, more importantly. 10-8, as they are the first team to secure double digits in this one. Again, I cannot not stop singing their praises. What a remarkable return to form. It was 0-6. They got to, I believe, 5-6, then it was 5-7, then it was 7-7, and then it was 8-7 in favor of Team 1. In this second half, Team 1 have yet to find a round. And so Phantom Troupe are looking incredibly good. This is their first real test, though. If they can shut down this rifle round, Phantom Troupe might be able to edge out a victory here on map 2. And that would be quite the upset, in my opinion. But Mobs does not want that to happen. He does not want to let me get ahead of myself. He wants to take it and clean sweep the series. And I spam with the A4s. Does Nisei in? And here we go. That aggression, that Brazilian aggression. Maluka in towards the squeaky door, finds Cryptic. And that lead has been extended to 2 players now. 3 versus 5 for Phantom Troupe. I think they were going to at least trifle. Consider this A site take. Being slowly spammed by Florence. Lots of damage done, but Maluka on the peak is too quick with it. Only furthering the advantage now. Freshie and JT, both going towards the ramp, have it all to do. Freshie finds 1, sure, but he's on low HP. And in a 2 versus 4, that just might be what is the straw that breaks the camel's back. CASA pressuring forward, trying to bully in Freshie. He has a smoke to work with Shore, but he gets caught shortly. There we go. Cannot expect much from a 2 versus 4. Maybe a second kill would be a possibility. The bomb plant, though, in that situation is really the most you could reasonably expect to ascertain. And 9th coming in for Team 1. And a convincing rifle victory as well. 4 players surviving means that the economy is going to be in a good spot. Good enough to get another full solid buy here and slowly build that CT economy. Phantom Troupe. The go-in's getting tough. Can they answer the call to duty? That's the question. Can they prevail in spite of adversity? Florence has the big green. Freshie, raid boss status, 23 kills for him, and he looks to continue as well. And here we go, some aggression. I like this from Florence. He's in towards the hut, perhaps. No, the Molotov forces him away. I like the idea, though. He was ready for it if the Molotov didn't come through. Pace up. More calculated aggression, not so much in terms of map control, but instead of positioning. Up top, on top of the garage, Cryptic will throw a flash over. Will Cryptic be ready for this? He is ready for it. He spots the player. He has the idea, but he doesn't pull the trigger. Freshie might be the one to do it instead. Here comes the contact. Now he goes for the swing. Good call from Freshie, but he doesn't hit the shot. Pesa instead finds it, and he's flashed forward by a teammate. He finds a second tap as a parting gift. JT will at long last unseat that player from above, but I feel like the damage has been done here. Advantage secured for Team 1. Domineering position, and again, Florence, he's not flexible with the op. He has to be the spearhead, and he has to peek his own angles. He can't be as flexible as a rifle would. And that might make this all the more difficult for Phantom Troupe. Nisei, close to Squeaky. Vomit Boy, Florence, a.k.a. holding from further away, looking towards the old vents. That Molotov is for exactly that position. Florence will seize the day with that kill. But Utility will quickly fill that gap. Smoke towards the Squeaky door, and there's a player up top hut. Should the push come through. Phantom Troupe, what is their adjustment? It's going to be a ramp play. All three players taking positioning, aggressive positioning towards the ramp as Mobs quickly falls away with the information, and Maluka is there to support. Maluka pestering the players, taking down one, and again, establishing the advantage. Florence is hoping for someone to get aggressive, but no one is. JT now all on his lonesome, has to get the plant down, but he's caught by IDK towards the decon door. Florence now nowhere to go but to save, and even then he can't do that. Mobs catches him in the dying seconds of the round, and Team 1 in the blink of an eye have tied things back up. They are indeed coming into their own here on the CT side. This is the side they are favored on after all. 10-10 though. Still anybody's game. Pistols for Phantom Troupe. 2 Tech 9s, 3 Glockaroonies. And Pesa, what a flick to find one. Ready to hold a second. Even a third a possibility. IDK, meanwhile, found the fourth. Just JT, Glock in hand and at the door. Coming through the smoke, he's like a lost puppy. Nothing he can do. 11-10 for Team 1. They take the lead once again. We're absent from that privileged position for quite a while, but they have returned. Phantom Troupe, though, are eager to tie things up yet again. Make this a neck-and-neck race. 5 AKs, good utility. Good enough utility, I should say. Not to get ahead of myself. It's not full utility, it's just enough. Team 1 are favored here. They have the op. They have some exotic AKs for the CT side. Those one-shot headshots, very consequential, especially for a CT. And they have, again, full utility. IDK. Holding a little bit of a different angle towards Tetris. Pesa, meanwhile, thought about playing top garage, will instead fall back and try to play a spot very evocative of the spots that Cryptic had played in the first half. This is a very interesting one way. He's going to jump over it. He's going to get one. Not the second, though. JT pressing through the smoke will find the trade, although he took a lot of damage for it. Even footing 4 versus 4. IDK down below has his work cut out for him as these players begin to slowly but surely clear out all these angles. Alton will come in towards IDK. That will make things difficult. He'll have to be either A, peeking or falling away. He'll elect to do last. Nisei on the lurk. Times everything here, and he's caught by a timing. Very nearly flicks back in time, but no, it's TRK to win that duel. And Team 1 again to reestablish the advantage. The 3 remaining players for Phantom Troupe. The 3 remaining kittens all down towards B, and they line up. Lots of damage done by Mobs. He takes down one, but not the second. This team is still set up for a convincing round victory here. Cryptic on 6, JT on 48. Make that just JT on 6 now as the nade comes through. 1 versus 3 for him. To find this would be huge, but I don't think he can. The door's open behind him. TRK shuts that opportunity down, and Team 1 now furthered their lead to 2 rounds, 12-10. When the rifles come out for the CT side, they really begin to dominate. Team 1 looking quite good, quite astute on their defending side of Nuke. Five Tech 9s for Phantom Troupe. True dream, a pipe dream of sorts for the half buy. See if they can pull off what Team 1 did in the first half. Tech 9s are very fearsome, especially when used in unison. Got some utility, some Kevlar. What's the play gonna be? Out towards A, delayed play is the name of the game, but the crossfire, even through the smoke, is still established and deadly. TRK and IDK, 3 between them, make that 4 and 5. Maluka chimes in with a big green just for good measure. And Team 1 are inching closer now. They're beginning to run away with it. 13-10. 3 rounds separate them from a clean 2-0 sweep. Phantom Troupe, another chance. This is one of the last, though, I must say. They lose this one, they'll be back to a half bye at 14-10. They'll have to save to play for overtime, and from there, they'll have to win 5 in a row. And that truly seems like a desperate situation to be in. So I think they have to put their foot down now if they want a chance here on map 2. Lawrence. Again, I like the aggression. I like the calls to try and go for something, but the Molotovs and the discipline from Team 1 did not peak before those Molotovs take full effect. Prevent him from having much impact. Alb's taking some. He's already there. Boost up his teammate up top ramp. Phantom Troupe, though. What is the name of the game here for them? 3 towards double doors, 1 more passively towards the lobby. Florence holding towards the ramp. And Cryptic holding towards the outside. It's a much more passive play. Again, they're hoping for that patented Team 1 aggression. But it's not coming through. Nisei has to make the play. Tries to push it forward. He's caught out. Mobs furthers it. Catches Freshie in towards the hut. I think Freshie has been effectively mitigated at this stage. Let's check the scoreboard. I was singing Freshie's praises through and through. I mentioned he had 23 a number of rounds prior. He has yet to find a kill since, and that is very unfortunate. Lawrence on the op is caught out by IDK. JT short he'll find the trade. It lasts some resistance being offered, but that resistance comes too little too late. TRK finding 1, Mobs the second, and Team 1 really reestablishing dominance here on Nuke. 14-10. 15 seems sure to follow. Okay, maybe not. Phantom Troupe. I don't think we've seen a pause this game. Hold on. Hold the phone. We have not seen a pause, a tactical pause coming in at all on Nuke. If I'm not mistaken. Might have seen one in the early goings, but from here, when Team 1 have really come into their own, when Phantom Troupe are going for these desperate investments, as you see now, we should have a pause called to go for some creative, interesting, unorthodox strategy. We're seeing none of that now for Phantom Troupe. They're trying to make fast on the nose calls, and they just aren't paying off. They need to talk this out, they need to think things through with the coach, and they just aren't doing that. Very interesting. And it might be what does them in. Freshie, at long last, back in the winner's column, finds 1 quickly traded, though. Answered back by Florence, but again, IDK finding a trade in response. It's just that 1, and even then, Object doesn't want to show me it from the first person's perspective. It's Pesa to find the final nail in the coffin. 15-10, 5-round lead for Team 1. Series point secured, and Phantom Troupe have no money left in the bank, or not a lot of money, I should say. They can invest into some things. They have to invest into some things. They're compelled to do so. But thereby, their investment pales in comparison to that of Team 1. Team 1, 2 A4s, 2 AKs, an AWP from Maluka. 2 Galils, an AK, a MAC-10, and a Tech-9 for Team Phantom Troupe. As this is truly a dream. Maluka finds the first outside in the yard. It's Freshie trying to get aggressive. That's the AK taken down, and the most formidable player as well dispatched. TRK finds a second. Very well done from him. He drops Cryptic, and Mobs finds the third onto Nisei. Maluka, a 4th, rotating around. He finds Florence. It's just JT on the MAC-10. He'll find 1 upgrade to the Galil, but what can he do in the 1v4? That's the question. It just doesn't seem possible. He's dancing with the Opera, who has a pistol out no less. He's now thoroughly stuck in. 19 HP. A true pipe dream for him. He tries to jump up. No, instead it's IDK. Put the final nail in the coffin. It was indeed a feasible situation for Phantom Troupe.